You're listening to a DM podcast.
We would like to acknowledge and give thanks to the traditional owners of the land we record this podcast on, the Yagara and Turrbal people,
and their continued connection to the land and waterways on which we meet.
Hello and welcome to Sportish, where sport and pop culture collide. I'm Georgie Trickett.
And I am Libby Trickett.
And this week, I'm going to take you on a journey.
I can't wait for this journey.
A funny place called California.
We're all going to live vicariously through you.
As you know, Lib, I finally got to go on holidays by myself for the first time in maybe a decade, which
Amazing.
you have actually just done recently as well.
I mean, it wasn't a holiday. I was working, but I also was traveling by myself.
Yeah, sorry, that's unfair. You were working. You were on a paid contract. If anyone was on a junket, it was you, Libby Trickett.
It absolutely was me. I totally agree.
You went to an opening ceremony. You got to eat croissants. You
didn't get a Nutella crate, which was a big shame. But other than that, excellent.
You'll just have to go back. So me, not wanting to miss out, also decided to go on my own little trip. And in fact, had been talking for some time about how I have a brother who lives in California. He has 3 little kids. I hadn't met 2 of them because life is busy. And
also, he had 3 in 3 years.
Thank you. I was like, God, that sounds so bad. Like, why hadn't I met 2 of the children?
That's on him and his wife.
And they live in California. And I desperately wanted to go and see them. And we've been trying to work out how to do a family holiday there. And that's expensive when there are 5 in your family. And how do we do that? Anyway, long story short, I decided I wanted to go and see Fraze, but I also wanted to find something else that I could do that was just for me. And it was something...
A twofer.
A twofer. Like, I wanted to go and see Fraze and Ali and the kids, but I wanted to like maybe go on a yoga retreat or just, you know, just something that would really fill my cup.
Yes.
As it turned out, what worked beautifully was the fact that Reese Witherspoon was holding her annual conference called Shine Away. Now, this is part of her... For me. I mean, who would have thought? Like, I was so generous of her.
Just for you. It was so nice of her.
Thank you, Reese, for thinking of me. So Reese Witherspoon owns the production company Hello Sunshine. They do lots of things. They've got book clubs. They do The Home Edit, which is that amazing organisation show on Netflix. Obviously, creator of great movies, lots of little different projects that they're working on. And they had this conference and I've been told about it. And I was like, as if I'd ever get to go. And then a friend said, I can get us tickets. And I was like, yes. I'm going to say yes. Yes, I'm going to go. And I was particularly interested because I knew that Hello Sunshine have been looking at sport through some of the production that they've been doing. And we've been talking about how Hello Sunshine are producing a documentary all around the F1 Academy, which is the female F1 program that's being headed by our favourite, our queen, Susie Wolf.
Our queen. Bow down. Queen. Susie Wolf.
We do love her so much. And that to me was really interesting. And I know it was to you too, because we've seen lots of sports documentaries out there lately, but to see sports documentaries that are being made by women with a female audience particularly in mind was really something that fascinated me. So when we were at Hello Sunshine, 2-day conference, hearing from amazing speakers all around the world, like the lady who created Spanx and has now created Sneaks and all about how she did that. We heard from an incredible sports panel that included an all-star American soccer player. And then we actually got to interview Sarah Harden. Now, Sarah Harden is the CEO of Hello Sunshine.
She is very important.
And she's an Australian, right? So we don't...
So cool.
We don't hear a lot about Sarah Harden in Australia, and we really should, because she's heading up this very successful production company in LA, and she's helping shape the culture in terms of what we're consuming. And so I got to have a little chat to her.
Georgie, like this was like next level amazing. I was just like, oh my God, Georgie.
I was like, who let me in here? Like, really?
Who gave me the keys to this place?
I'm just from a little podcast called Sportish. She was incredibly generous. We spoke for like 10 minutes. And what I'm going to do, Lib, for our listeners now is play a little clip of the audio from the discussion we had. Take a listen.
This moment has been here. The athletes have been as good as they are now. They were as good as that 10 years ago. What wasn't happening? All of the accepted wisdom, right? Around, you know, we're now saying everyone watches women's sports. Everyone was trying to watch women's sports. It was merchandised poorly. We couldn't find it on your screens. When we shot it, instead of having 3 or 4 cameras, we had 1 camera. So the product's shitty. Not the athletic product isn't, but we didn't cover it properly. What happens when one thing breaks that flywheel? It's like, oh, people show up. So we go do a new media rights deal, as both the NWSL has done here. You have the Women's World Cup. I was there in Australia and New Zealand last year for Women's World Cup soccer. You have WNBA breaking records week in, week out. You have broad audiences, and it's not just women. It's not just women. It's women and men. Everyone watches women's sports, right? But we have to do a better job at telling those stories and having people connect to those athletes, because that's where it starts. And so we have announced, and we have 6 docs in production other than F1 Academy and Surf Girls across a range of sports, all of which center incredible female athletes who are not all household names right yet, but they should be there at the top of their game in the sport. So we're telling the stories both of athletes, leagues, teams, coaches, because women are due, and they've been due for a long time. And if you've been a fan of women's sports, as you know, as I am, as clearly as you are, we've been watching, but it's been made too hard for us, right? And what happens when you send a women's story is crazy. People show up because they are so delighted to see these badass athletes. And so that's what we're going to keep focused. We're telling the stories of women across a range of identities, experiences, whether that's chefs or athletes. And you know what it is when you tell their stories and you bring it to the world in a way, and this is what happens. People show up and they connect, and they bring joy and entertainment and inspiration, because women are excellent.
All right, Lib, what did you think?
I loved her perspective of the fact that women's sport is awesome, and it always has been awesome. We just need to get the eyeballs on it.
Yeah, and it's really interesting when she talks about the fact that even in terms of how we have done the production for like regular games, not for documentaries necessarily, but just how we've had the broadcast running, you know, the lighting's been bad on the fields. There's only been 1 camera to shoot it. Like, these are things that have a real impact on how an audience can engage in women's sport. And if you don't get that right, it has a really big impact on how we all perceive it as a professional sport.
And then it's not engaging, because people are like, oh, that's boring. You know, that's why you see even across men's sport how we're getting more and more access to what the players are doing, you know, whether it's in the locker rooms or on the sidelines, and you're starting to see all of these things come together. And now we're just starting to see the basics coming across to women's sport, and people are loving it.
You know, as she sort of alludes to, it's not rocket science. Like, if you get all these things right and if you tell the story, then it's not just women who are interested in women's sports. Everyone watches women's sports.
Which I just think is so timely, with like the women's basketball just absolutely going off over in America at the moment.
Can I tell you about one of the other things I got to do?
Please.
That was a very good segue. I'm really impressed.
You're welcome.
I spent my time in LA. We can come back to that in a minute, because I did visit some really interesting places while I was there. And then I caught a train down to a place called Carlsbad, which is a bit north of San Diego. And
a bit north of Carlsgood.
Or Carl's Jr. That's the other thing that comes into my head. That was such a mum joke.
You're welcome.
Really, I can just see my children rolling their eyes at you if they could. If they had heard that, it would be, oh my God, Auntie Libby, that's the worst.
So good.
So Carlsbad, coastal place, not that Fraser and Ali live on the coast, because that's like uber expensive. No one's getting anywhere near that. Beautiful, leafy little suburb. And Fraser had said to me, we're going to take you to the basketball one night. And I was like, yes.
How good.
I love a bit of like sports culture when I'm in another country. And what they had done is got tickets to the Brooklyn Nets, who were playing the local San Diego NBA team. They did this because they're besties with the coach of the Brooklyn Nets.
My goodness.
I know. Like,
that's so cool. How do you know these people, Georgie?
Ali, my sister-in-law, she was a sideline reporter for the Denver Nuggets, which is an NBA team. And while she was there, Georgie Fernandez, who's now the coach of the Brooklyn Nets, he was the assistant coach for the Denver Nuggets. So they all used to hang out together.
That's crazy.
In Denver. And now they're like mates, they're like godparents to each other's children, that sort of thing. And so when I rolled into town, Fraser's like, guess what? The Brooklyn Nets, what are the chances, are playing the San Diego team. Let's go and watch it. So we went.
Spurs? Yes.
It's a good question. I was too taken by the Nets because, Lib, I've never had a reason to follow NBA. Like you were a Chicago Bulls diehard, whereas I didn't really grow up with that.
Big
and now
time.
I feel like I have found my team. The Nets. I've got a reason to support them. I'll support them. And Ben Simmons, who's an Australian player, he's quite a big deal. He plays in the Brooklyn Nets. And when he walked onto the court, I was like, hey, that's Ben Simmons. And Fraser's like, who? And I'm like, he's an Aussie. He's playing on this team. Anyway, the reason this is all relevant this week is that the Brooklyn Nets have a women's team. They're called the New York Liberty. And the New York Liberty have this week taken out the WNBA championships. And even more exciting for the Australians is that their coach is Sandy Brondello, who is Australia's head women's coach. She just helped us take bronze at the Paris Olympics, and now she's just got her second WNBA title, and it's the first one that the New York Liberty have ever won.
And like, didn't they win it in overtime? Like, wasn't it
Yes.
hectic, like neck and neck?
2 of the matches have gone into overtime. They've done it in, I think, usually in basketball, you would know this, it's a 7-game series. Is that right?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
They've done it in 5 games, which is pretty impressive. But 2 of them have gone into overtime. So it's been a pretty tight contest. Here's a fun fact. Do you know who the number 1 supporter is for the New York Liberty?
Please tell me.
Jason Sudeikis.
That'll do me.
Has that just made the New York Liberty your women's team?
They are 100% my women's team.
Right.
Anything that's good enough for Jason, it's good enough for me.
So for those who aren't playing along at home, Jason Sudeikis is Ted Lasso.
I think if you don't know who Jason Sudeikis is...
Well, I mean, I'm not pronouncing it correctly. Thank you for correcting me.
You're very welcome. And also, if you don't know who he is, you need to leave the podcast. You're not allowed to listen anymore.
No.
I know we're not snobby like that, but we are about Ted Lasso,
snobby.
Georgie.
It's part of the pre-work.
Yes. If you want to listen, you need to go and watch Ted Lasso.
I mean, we will love you anyway, but
I will love you a little bit less.
Libby can be an asshole about this stuff at times.
I'm cutthroat. I will also be cutthroat to you later.
You're making me nervous. Libby started this podcast by saying she's going to ambush me with something. And I'm like, what have I made? I'm a terrible speller. Did I make a mistake?
No.
Did I leave something at your house?
Do you want me to go into it now?
I think we have to. I'm nervous.
Georgie, I have a very big bone to pick with you.
Oh, okay.
So, and I know that I have absolutely no right to be a little bit annoyed about this. No right.
Okay,
I have no right. There is no reason that I have except that it annoys me. That is the only thing that I can say.
Okay, so I haven't annoyed you, but this thing has annoyed you and it's somehow connected
to do with
me.
you.
Is it to do with cricket?
So,
it's to do with cricket,
it's
isn't
absolutely to do with cricket, Georgie Trickett, because you decided to not put your kids in swim club and instead put them in cricket.
Yep, I did.
WTF.
Oh, is that it?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Can I tell you what's happened?
I know you're not supposed to, push sports onto kids, but, I'm pretty sure swimming's just, what we have to do in this family.
I'm actually going to take this as a compliment because I'm breaking the family mold. You may think that I'm letting the family name down. And also, this is not just me. This is my kids who, after many seasons of swim club, were like, we don't have to do it, do we?
Oh, it's so hurtful.
It was hurtful to Ben as well. He was like, what?
Because your husband, Ben, used to swim as well.
Yeah. He's like, are they related to me? And I was like, yes, they are also my children.
Yeah, and that's what Luke and I said. We're like, Georgie's just all about balls, hand-eye coordination and all that.
I have to tell you the story. So what happened is my youngest went down to do Master Blasters. It's the junior cricket program. Great, modified, fun, accessible, well-played Cricket Australia, because not only did you snare my youngest son when my 2 daughters were down there just throwing a ball on the side of the field because like all siblings, you get dragged to everyone else's practices.
Yep.
This lady came over and she's like, who owns these two? And Ben, who was there at the time, said, oh, they're mine. Did they take some of your equipment? I'm so sorry. And she's like, no. Would they like to come and join us in the nets? And the girls are like, yeah, that sounds fun. And so while I was away, they did a session with the all-girls squad on a Friday night while their little brother trained, and they loved it so much. By the time I got back from California, they were like, we want to play cricket. And I was like, let's slow down.
Woo up a bit.
Sometimes we get a little bit excited about sports and we sign up to them and then we realize we're not really into them. So we went down 3 nights ago or whatever to do cricket training again. And once again, the lady said, would the girls like to join us? And they were like, yes, of course. And they got all padded up in all their kit and their helmets, and they walked into the nets, and they are so in love with cricket. They have now signed up for the season. We then spent 3 hours at cricket on Sunday.
I mean, good luck to you, Georgie. Good luck.
Can I tell you, it's just, oh my God, I'm so impressed with what Cricket Queensland, Cricket Australia is doing. Here's first thing. When we went to buy the uniforms, they said, now the girls wear a white shirt and then they wear blue pants.
Very good.
And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Thank you. So that was like big tick number one. I was like, this is so modern. Yes. I'm so impressed because obviously for girls, as they head into high school years and you have to deal with periods, no one wants white pants. I played all my softball in white pants. It's a freaking nightmare. All right, so that was excellent point number one. Excellent point number two, absolutely no pressure. Just want to get the girls involved. If they just want to do training every Friday night, that's fine. Just come along and see how you go. I was like, this doesn't happen in sport. I don't see this happening everywhere else. So that was like bloody amazing point number two. Point number three, on Sunday, before they started the game, the head of women's cricket happens to be their coach from the club. And so she presented them both with a baggy blue before the game.
Cute.
And I was like, cricket, you're doing a really good job.
It's not for me.
They have also totally modified the game so that girls can learn and play. So they're playing... There's multiple ages playing in the one team. If people bowl a wide, the girls can hit off a tee on either side. Like it is a fully modified game to help girls learn, to help them play cricket. Like, ugh.
Now I can't even be angry
Libby.
about it.
I don't think we're coming back.
You, man. Like I was angry about it. Now I can't be angry about it.
Now you're just disappointed.
Now I'm just disappointed in you and your children. No, I'm kidding. I love them very much and it's really hurting my heart that I don't want to do swimming.
But the feeling you're having about swimming is the feeling I had when I saw them walk out in their like full kit to go and play on the field. Like it's an absolute visceral reaction for me to see them walk out and do that. I've never understand why you guys are so intense about the swimming. I was like, calm down, they're just at swimming. Now they're walking out to play cricket and I'm like, oh my God.
Look at them go.
Look at them.
Of all the sports, Georgie, cricket. Like, come on.
I love cricket. This is like my dream come true.
You know I hate cricket. Of all of them, Georgie, you're choosing not swimming to do cricket.
I can't believe you thought you were going to ambush me and in fact you just let me give a 5-minute TED talk on the benefits of cricket in Australia.
The much better sport for those listening. All the sporties listening, put your kids in swimming, not cricket.
Do both. Play everything.
Do all of the things.
Now, because I sat on planes endlessly, which is actually an absolute delight.
It's enjoyable.
Oh my God. People bring you food. Would you like a drink? I would love one.
Yes, I would actually. Could I have another tea?
Yeah, like just amazing. So I watched 8 movies, as I think I mentioned last week, but I did make sure 3 of them were sport adjacent.
Amazing. What were they? Tell us everything.
So the first one I watched was Challenges. Have you watched that?
I have not.
Zendaya. And then Mike Feist, I don't really know who he is, and then Josh O'Connor, who was in The Crown.
Oh, cool.
It's about tennis, so I feel like you actually could be vaguely interested in this movie.
I love tennis.
It's about 3, would you say junior pros? They're like all-American Grand Slam winners when they're in the juniors sort of thing, and they two of them go to college and one of them decides to go down the pro route into tennis. And it's all about their interwoven relationships and what happens as they get injuries and work up the ladder and all that sort of thing. You wouldn't say ladder, would you? What would you say in tennis?
Rankings?
Ladder. The rankings, that's the right word. Most interesting to me about all of this was the idea that tennis is a language and it's a conversation.
Interesting.
And I didn't really get that point until like the very last scene, and then it became like so put home. It was a very entertaining movie, and it really makes you have a think about what your motivations are when you're at that elite level.
Cool.
I think you would like it.
Yeah.
And I think you would be able to identify in each of the players different parts of their personality that would resonate with you.
Ooh, I'm into it. Going to go look that up.
It was really good. I really enjoyed that. I then watched this incredible movie called Young Woman and the Sea. And the only reason I found it is because I could see other people on the plane watching it on their screens. And I was like, what is this chick doing? And it's all about a lady called Trudy Italy, who was the first woman to swim the English Channel.
Wow. When did that happen?
It happened... I'm trying to think if it was in between wars. I think it was in between wars.
Wow.
I don't have an exact date on it.
That's how we work.
Very vague. So for a woman to swim the English, I mean, for anyone to swim the English Channel is amazing. What is quite remarkable about this woman's story is the fact that women weren't really allowed to swim.
Wow.
So that's a big thing. And so to train, she actually started out training in like a basement pool somewhere in New York. Her mum had to sew at night in order for her to be able to go and train because they had to pay a certain fee and her dad wouldn't pay the fee.
Oh, wow.
It's not only a look at how she swam the English Channel, but how women became part of the sporting conversation, how they were even allowed to swim, how they started to participate in the Olympics and didn't perform very well because for the entirety of the journey on a ship to the Olympics, they were not allowed outside of their rooms because they were women and there were men on the boat and they would fraternize with the men and that wasn't okay. So the men all trained the whole way across on the boat for 3 weeks and the women never left their rooms and then didn't perform at the Olympics, and everyone was like, well, this is why women shouldn't play sport.
That's insane.
It's really like fascinating, absolutely fascinating. And particularly when you come across the administrators she had to put up with and the coaches she was allocated, like the number of obstacles that were put in front of her to stop her from doing this and the number of people who didn't want her to succeed because what would that mean?
Gosh, that's so cool.
It's really cool. I think you would love it. Like the swimming of the Channel is actually sort of like a minor hurdle in the whole story of what she achieved.
Wow. So what's the name of that one?
Young Woman and the Sea, and it's on Disney Plus.
Okay, amazing. I'm going to look that one up too.
The last one, I think you might have seen this, was Ford versus Ferrari. It was an older one.
Yes, I haven't seen it though.
So that's the one with Matt Damon. There's another one that's sort of similar, which has a Hemsworth in it. But this one is Matt Damon, Christian Bale, and Katarina Balfe.
Okay.
Who is the lady from Outlander.
Ah, nice one.
Like I was watching her the whole time going, oh, I know
How do I know you?
Why do I know you? You look so familiar. She's the Outlander chick. It is so interesting.
Yeah.
Particularly if you've gotten into car racing a bit through something like F1 Drive to Survive. This is a really interesting history lesson in cars and how the different manufacturers came to be and what their prominence was and what sort of deals were happening. But it's all about the 24-hour race that happens in Europe called the Le Mans. And Ferrari had been the dominant car in that race for years and years and years. No one had gone close. And Ford decided they wanted to take it on. And it was part of an overall marketing strategy of how do we make our cars sexier and more attractive to the younger market. And they were like, you have to win this race. And it sort of takes you through the journey of how they got that car to be good enough to compete against Ferrari and what it took to dominate and succeed in that pursuit. And it was just a really well told story.
That's awesome. That sounds very interesting.
Yeah. So that's my like unexpected Movie wrap. We'll probably have to wait another 3 or 4 years for so much.
Look, I mean, we're not going to have another one for a while because neither of us watch movies. I can watch 45 minutes. That is my maximum.
Hey, have you got a midweek Hall of Fame to finish us off with?
I do, which is so exciting. Thank you so much to our sporty Ali who sent this in this week. And again, if any of our sporties listening have a midweek Hall of Fame that that they think would be suitable for the show, please send it in. Ali would like to nominate her daughter Scarlett for the midweek Hall of Fame. Scarlett is 7 and loves her gymnastics. She'd been doing so well all season at competitions and had just started to nail all of her routines. 1 week before junior regional championships, she broke her ankle.
Oh.
She was devastated to miss the championships. However, Ali is so bloody proud of what she did next. Instead of having a pity party, which would have been entirely acceptable.
We would have all done that.
I mean, I would have pity partied for months. She asked if she could still go to cheer on her teammates and her older sister. She went down into the competition with her teammates in a moon boot and cheered them on, lined them up ready for their turn, gave them lollies, calmed their nerves by making them laugh. She is the youngest in her team. She was genuinely so happy to be there supporting her mates. She had every reason to be upset, but she stood tall and she is our little champion for this week. Well done, Scarlett. We're so proud of you.
That is amazing. And she has learned and demonstrated such an important life lesson that actually sometimes just being part of the team is enough. Like we've spoken about it on our Play On podcast, how you can be the worst player on the team, but you still have a really important role to play.
Like that is setting an incredible example for that team. And also like I think it is a testament to the culture of that group to, want to support that as well, which is just beautiful.
Totally. I think if you've got a coach and you've got families that are supporting you and pulling you together and encouraging you to be a part of it, even if you can't be in the mix on the day, I think that is just the best. What a beautiful culture you've found for your daughter, and well done. And thank you for sharing it because we love sharing these stories. These are the sports stories we want to hear. That's a midweek Hall of Famer.
Oh,
right there.
Signed, sealed, delivered. Well done, Scarlett.
Thank you, Scarlett.
Well done, Ali. All of the people. That's it, Georgie. That's us for this week.
Thank you so much for listening to Sportish.
We hope you listen.
We hope you come back next week.
Come back next week. Have another listen.
We hope you liked this episode. If you did, share it with your friends. Give us a 5-star review.
Yep.
Even like a few little words. That helps everyone find us.
Little tap, tap.
Tap, tap, taparoo. Put that in your podcast app. I know we all say it at the end of podcasts and stuff like that, but it actually does make a huge difference. So we would appreciate your support. And please send in those midweek Hall of Fames. It can be a voice note. We would love to play some of our listeners on the podcast. And then, you can play it for your kids or you can play it for your mate who you nominated. The more sportish voices we get on here, the better. You don't need to listen to us all the time.
No. We want you on the podcast.
We want you guys.
Well, I think that's it.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.